What if I told you that the most feared empire in the world was brought to its knees, not by crusaders, not by rival kings, but by a limping conqueror from Central Asia who built a pyramid out of human skulls? This is the story of the Battle of Ankara. The day a sultan was put in chains. The day the Ottoman Empire almost ceased to exist. To understand why this battle mattered, you need to understand Bayezid I. He didn't inherit a small kingdom. He inherited a rising empire and made it monstrous. He moved so fast in war that his enemies gave him a nickname, Yildirim, the Thunderbolt. He crushed the Serbs at Kosovo. He humiliated a European crusade at Nicopolis in 1396, capturing thousands of knights and executing most of them. He blockaded Constantinople for years, strangling the Byzantine Empire slowly. European kings feared him. The Pope called him a scourge of God. By 1400, Bayezid sat at the peak of Ottoman power, arrogant, confident, untouchable. He was so sure of himself that when a letter arrived from the East warning him to back down, he laughed. The man who sent that letter was Timur, known in the West as Tamerlane, and if Bayezid was feared, Timur was something else entirely, something biblical. Born in 1336 in what is now Uzbekistan, Timur rose from a minor noble to become the ruler of a vast Central Asian empire through sheer brutality and military genius. He was lame in his right leg from an old wound, hence Tamerlane, Temur the Lame, but on the battlefield he was anything but. He sacked Delhi, he devastated Persia. He left entire cities as rubble, and built towers of severed heads as warnings to anyone who resisted. Historians estimate his campaigns killed up to 17 million people, 5% of the world's entire population at the time, and now his eyes were on Anatolia, on Bayezid, on the Ottomans. The two giants had been circling each other for years. Timur demanded Bayezid release certain vassal rulers he had captured. Bayezid refused, and reportedly sent back an insult so vicious that historians still debate whether to print it. Timur invaded Anatolia. He sacked Sivas, an Ottoman city, massacred its garrison, and buried 4,000 Armenian soldiers alive. It was a message. Still, Bayezid didn't flinch. He had been sieging Constantinople when the news came. He lifted the siege, gathered his forces, and marched east to meet Timur head-on. By July 1402, both armies converged near the city of Ankara. The stage was set for one of the largest battles the medieval world had ever seen. July 20th, 1402. The plain of Chubuk near Ankara. Timur held the high ground and had done something brilliant. He diverted the local river, denying Bayezid's troops water in the brutal summer heat. The Ottomans arrived thirsty and exhausted. The battle began with archery and cavalry charges. At first, the Ottomans held. Bayezid's Serbian vassal troops, elite Christian knights fighting under Ottoman command, performed brilliantly on the right flank. The Janissaries, Bayezid's legendary infantry, stood firm, but Timur had a secret weapon. For months, he had been in secret contact with several of Bayezid's Anatolian vassals, Tatar lords who had once been independent and resented Ottoman rule. Mid-battle, at the critical moment, they switched sides. Entire Ottoman divisions simply turned and rode away. The flanks collapsed. The center was surrounded. Bayezid fought on furiously. Accounts say he personally led charge after charge trying to break out. But it was hopeless. By nightfall, the Thunderbolt was in chains. The Ottomans suffered catastrophic losses. The army dissolved. Bayezid's sons fled in different directions, each claiming the throne. The empire began to tear itself apart. What happened to Bayezid after his capture is one of history's most debated stories. Timur kept him alive, possibly as a trophy, possibly out of a strange respect for a fellow conqueror. Some accounts say Bayezid was treated relatively well. Others claim Timur used him as a human footstool, not when mounting his horse. One story says Bayezid's wife was forced to serve at Timur's table as a slave. Whether all of this is true or Ottoman propaganda, we'll never know. What we do know is that Bayezid died in captivity in March 1403, just 8 months after his defeat. Most historians believe it was grief and humiliation that killed him. As for Timur, he didn't press further west. He turned east toward China for his next campaign and died in 1405 before reaching it. The threat passed as suddenly as it had arrived, but the Ottoman Empire was shattered. For the next 11 years, Bayezid's sons fought a bloody civil war, the Ottoman interregnum, for control of what remained. And yet, here's why this story is extraordinary. The Ottomans came back. Mehmed I reunified the empire by 1413. His son Murad II rebuilt its military power. and in 1453, just 51 years after Ankara, his grandson Mehmed II conquered Constantinople, ended the Byzantine Empire, and turned the Ottomans into one of the most powerful states on earth.